My name is Shadia Hafiz, and I am the writer of Strangers with Benefits. I had an epiphany. I was at an audition, I was going through my sides, and I just immediately saw the whole show in front of me from beginning to end. I got so excited, it just lit a fire under my ass. I wrote the prologue and the first two scenes. I forwarded them to my girl and our director, Christina Copley, and she immediately wrote back and she was like, keep going. Casual Encounters was a forum that was on Craigslist, and what Casual Encounters was essentially a hookup area.
So let's take a ride down memory lane as I share the evolution of this show, from its very first reading all the way to taking it to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Over the course of the pandemic, we held Zoom read-throughs and workshops with friends in the comforts of our living room. Eventually, it was submitted and accepted into the Boiler Room series at the Keegan Theater of Washington, D.C. in 2022. Unfortunately, due to the COVID precautions, in-person performances of the stage readings were made virtual. In this production, the antagonists were played by local actors Jared Graham and Rebecca Ballinger. That summer, I produced Strangers with Benefits at the Capitol Fringe Festival in Washington, D.C., something that had always been on my bucket list. Because of the festival time limits, the script had to be pared down. COVID protocols were still in full swing, which meant masks were mandatory, vaccinations required, and every artist had to test before each performance. To say I was ridden with panic-induced stress would be an understatement. But despite it all, we opened to rave reviews, standing ovations, and sold-out houses. The biggest reward being finally hearing the audience's laughter and at sometimes their tears. This production was once again directed by Christina Copley and featured local equity actor Harrison Smith as the male protagonist and myself taking the plunge and stepping in as the female lead. In 2023, after making adjustments to the script, it was submitted to Signature Theater's SigWorks reading series, where it was accepted for the 2024 stage readings. It was a fast and furious day with local equity actors Danny Gavigan and Alana Thomas-Briggs, starting with a noon rehearsal, a surprise guest in the form of the solar eclipse, and a 7 p.m. showtime. The reading was performed live and streamed, which turned out to be a blessing because once again, we had a sold-out house. Afterward, Signature held a talkback with an engaged audience full of praise and thoughtful questions, many of which helped me shape the next evolution of this script. A sold-out event and a celestial event on the same day? Not a bad happy coincidence. After the DC success of Strangers, we set our sights high and began preparing for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Scotland. Local actor Jonathan Blansfield was cast as the male role, with myself reprising the role of the female protagonist. The intention for this production of the show was to go a step further in bringing it to life at the world's largest arts festival. Local accredited intimacy and fight coordinator Sierra Young was commissioned to choreograph the physical scenes. Our design team, consisting of power couple Megan Thrift and Dan Dieter, assisted with production, lighting design, sound, and this time, adding the element of projections for the text messages, whereas in the past, they had been spoken by the actors on stage. Rehearsals began in summer of 2025 with an intensive schedule and the assistance of the National Conservatory of Dramatic Arts in providing us the space. After weeks of preparation, we set off for Scotland. Strangers with Benefits was accepted to perform in the studio space at the Paradise and Augustine's venue. With 9 performances under our belt and 1 canceled show due to a bike accident, the show received significant audience praise and reviews from lively houses. After closing in Edinburgh, we returned to the United States to perform an exclusive performance in DC at the National Conservatory of Dramatic Arts. Another sold-out house, followed by a 15-minute talkback that turned into an hour with an engaging and inquisitive audience. With hopeful future stops to Adelaide Fringe, Toronto, and Hollywood, the journey for Strangers with Benefits is far from over. The next step in this ever-evolving show is to find its home on a main stage where it can really meet its full potential and bring audiences into that visceral experience of delving into the human condition in its search for connection through the physical, the emotional, and the taboo.
I think it is important for audiences to see this show because, to quote a friend, it is a story told with courage, because it is. It's also courageous for the audience to take that chance to see a show like this. I feel for any artist, the end goal you want for anything you create is for it to be seen.